All right, y'all. Welcome back to the podcast. It is an absolutely gorgeous morning here in the Shenandoah National Park. If you heard yesterday's episode, you will know that we are working our way towards Maine this summer with a few pit stop days here in Shenandoah National Park. Yesterday, I ended up doing, I think it was right around 12 miles. Feel great this morning. Today, early this morning at Loft Mountain Campground, we packed up the van and got loaded up because I am doing 7 miles today. I just left from the Loft Mountain Camp store and I'm going to hike 7 or so miles north on the Appalachian Trail. And then we are going to work our way north on Skyline Drive all the way toward the northern end of the park. And tonight we will stay at Matthews Arm Campground. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to do a short little 5 miles. And then we are headed officially to Maine. We'll spend the next couple days traveling to Maine and then get this party started in the Mahoosucs. So I am excited, feeling good, enjoying the beautiful temperatures this morning. What a drastic contrast from a couple days ago where in Charlotte it got over 100 degrees and now it is 59 degrees. The sun is shining, the breeze is blowing, the birds are chirping, and it is a whopping 8:40 a.m. in the morning. And we are just going to chill today, stroll through these 7 miles, and move our way up north to Matthews Arm Campground. With that being said, found a bandana last night at the Loft Mountain Wayside. Cannot believe I forgot all my bandanas. So put a check on that one. But the first Walmart we see once we head out of the park, I am just going to buy a few packs of generic bandanas. That way I have those on hand for the rest of the summer. But for today's episode, I wanted to fill you all in on where I left off yesterday. So I think I told you all in somewhere in yesterday's episode that I actually hired a guide. So I want to go into that, and then I'll fill you all in on a couple new pieces of gear. Like I said yesterday, really boring, but I'll fill you in on the couple pieces of gear and then how the 100-mile wilderness is going to work. So first of all, I hired a guide. So sometime this past winter, I think it was when I got back from Israel, I was thinking about where I left off last summer. And really that's going back into the Mahoosucs of Maine, which is, in my opinion, the 30 hardest miles on the trail because it also includes the Mahoosuc Notch. And that is where I came out last year. And I know what I'm getting into when I go in there. So when I start at the Carlo Cole, Carlocol trailhead and get my way back up to the Appalachian Trail, I know it's going to be rugged. I know that the terrain is not what I'm dealing with here, the glorious terrain in the Shenandoah National Park. But I also know that I did not want to go through the first 2 days in the Mahoosucs that I have left of the Mahoosucs by myself. So somewhere the logical part of me was like, hey, there is a guiding company called Red Line Guiding in the Gorham area, New Hampshire area. You can hire a guide to go all through New Hampshire, all through the various trails, the Presidential, the Pemmy Traverse. So I looked up on the website, and they also provide guides through the Mahoosucs. And somebody that you may recognize, a lady that I have talked with various times on Instagram. Her name is Arlette Lan or Arlette Lawn. I think she's the first female ever to complete all 11 National Scenic Trails. And she works for Red Line Guiding. So I sent her a DM on Instagram and just said, hey, not sure if you're out hiking or if you're going to be working this summer. And she informed me that she would be out hiking, and rightly so, but that guides were for hire through that area. So I did more research and finally just decided to pull the trigger and hire a guide to go with me through the last 20 or so miles that I have of the Mahoosucs. And then I would be set to do the rest of the mileage leading up to Monson. And then once I get to Monson is when I'm going to be doing the 100-mile wilderness with the Katahdin Adventure Company. That is signed, sealed, delivered. And I will be starting that trip with them on July 19th. So basically I have, from the day I get started in the Mahoosucs, my guide, her name is Deborah. She will be with me for 2 days. We will go in at the Carlo Cole Trailhead, spend the night out at one of the shelters. The next day, big day in the Mahoosucs, it'll be the Mahoosuc Notch, the Mahoosuc Arm, and then out and down out to Grafton Notch. So I'm excited about that. I will leave a link in the podcast episode description and on YouTube to Red Line Guiding. They are available all in the New Hampshire and southern Maine area. And I don't feel bad about it at all. I'll have somebody that knows the area. I'll have a person to go through there with me, and life is good. So we could check off that box once I get there. And then what was the second thing I was going? Oh, my gear. So I did have to get a new tent, and I did have to get a new sleeping pad. So the tent I have been using, my favorite tent of all time, the MSR Hubba, one person. I noticed last summer when I was out with Lucky Dime that the floor of my tent was basically disintegrating. And I knew when we went out of there that I was going to have to get a new tent. And I went back and forth. Am I just going to get like a one-person Durston? Am I going to do the Z-Packs thing? Like, what am I going to do? And I decided none of the above. I love my tent so much that I just got the newest version of the MSR Hubba 1. It's perfect. It's lighter. The poles are lighter. Y'all probably won't believe this, but I bought that MSR that I had before the floor started disintegrating from the outfitter in Damascus. I figured it up. It was the summer of 2013. So that tent has paid its dues and lasted quite some time. I'm familiar with it. I like the way it sets up. I like a freestanding tent. I know they're a little bit heavier, but hey, I don't care about that. So I think the pack weight with everything is 2 pounds, 6 ounces. And I'm good with that. So, and that includes the poles and everything that comes with it. But I will not carry it in a stuffed sack. I just carry the tent by itself and the poles by themselves and the stakes, and off we go. So there's that. And then also last summer, on the last night I was out, my air mattress died out on me. Had a good old REI, something or the other air mattress, and it went kaput. So for the first time ever, I bought a Neo Air X-Lite, I think. Yeah, got a Neo Air X-Lite sleeping pad, the yellow one that everybody else has. Why not? It's the lightest, and it does the job. So got a new tent, got a new sleep pad, and everything else is pretty boring. Got some new shorts, had to go down a size again in shorts. do hiking underwear, new sports bras, boar socks, all the things, all the boring stuff. And everything else is pretty much the same. I am still wearing the topos. I actually bought 4 brand new pairs. That way I would not be chasing any shoes this summer, and I could rotate pairs to keep their longevity. It's the Topo Pursuit. I think that's what I'm wearing. Yeah. And they do have a new model out. I think they're the Pursuit 3s. But I found a bunch of the Pursuit 2s on sale on Amazon, so I bought them up. And I am set with that for the summer. So yeah, hired a guide to go through the Mahoosics. The goal is to get to Monson and get all of Maine done before July 19th. That is very, very feasible and doable. And then on July 19th, I will be going through the 100-mile wilderness and summiting Katahdin with a group. I believe there's 9 or 10 of us. And I already had one lady reach out to me and say, hey, listen, I listened to your podcast and this is going to be great. So there you go. I've already got a potential listener on that trip. And so the goal is, I believe, and I'll have more information about all this as I get into Maine and get settled in and get started hiking in Maine, is we will summit Katahdin either July 29th. I don't even know if there is a July 30th or August. I think it's July 29th or 30th. Somewhere around those days. So potentially, if all goes well, going uphill again, out of breath, y'all. And y'all keep me in your prayers. We will have a second completion. I say we, because some of y'all have been here since the first day I ever started this podcast in December of 2019. We will have a second completion of the AT as a section hiker. And that, to me, is pretty darn cool. So today, pretty uneventful. Just getting some more miles on my legs here in the park as we make our way toward Maine. Like I said earlier, when I get done, which it shouldn't take me too long to knock out these 7 miles or so, we are going to head north on Skyline Drive, do all the touristy stuff, look at the overlooks, take pictures, have some good food, and make our way toward Matthews Arm Campground this evening. And then tomorrow, we are turning the van away from Shenandoah. And I think we have 2 more days. And then we'll actually be in Gorham. And I am excited. So for now, I will leave you all to it. I'm still climbing, out of breath. It sure feels good to be back on the mic, back on the trail, back in fresh air. So as always, thanks for listening. Be safe out there. And I'll see you tomorrow. And happy section hiking.